What is good, guys? It is your boy Dante, Traveler of the Burning Abyss, otherwise known as Head_Bear UGIO. This is a selection of replays I recorded for Farfa, also known as Cardiff UGIO, and his Table 500 series, but were ultimately rejected. However, I decided that since I had managed to make Cloudians good, the world should see it, and so here we go. So yeah, here is the first replay against another Tier 7 water deck. Great ill. Of course I win the die roll because I am good at the game, and then choose to go first because Cloudian is a combo deck and can't play through anything. This hand is quite good given that we opened the only Cloudian starter card and several extenders, including the Cloudian, which is just a more specific water spirit. Also, I drew max CE because did I mention I was good at the game. So this was a good Cloudian hand because we managed to end on a single piece of disruption off of about 4 cards. So you see, this is a very powerful contender, and here is our opponent playing lots of irrelevant continuous cards and summoning a sweet baby Supreme Leader Snoke to his field. Now of course we disregard all his strange plays because Cloudian is the better deck, and we go on continuing our combo by summoning more generic Link and XYZ monsters and take care of his slow and suboptimal trap card and do some attacks. Of course I may attack in the wrong order here, but bear in mind that I am playing Cloudian, so are playing as poorly as possible in order to reserve my real skill for the many competitive events I attend and definitely top. So apparently Baby Snoke has some effects which activate when I kill him, which I would make a joke about, except I don't want to spoil The Last Jedi for the 7 people who watch this video.
So while I was going on a tangent, we missed his whole turn, but it doesn't matter as he did nothing, and now I am summoning the wrong XYZ monster because I thought this ugly chicken could target face downs, which I was wrong about. Don't judge me.
Unfortunately, all the great ills are floaters, and this strange and doubtless suboptimal trap means that I can't attack for game and I can't use Cowboy because this isn't 2014. Oh well. Now he just summoned some random water synchro using Teenage Snoke and some ugly crocodile and wipes my board. As Cloudian has no comeback ability, I unfortunately lose through no fault of my own, since I am a good player as demonstrated when I won the die roll and drew max CE. Somehow I top deck a hand trap despite my opponent playing Great Ill, not Spiral, so he didn't have access to drone. If I had drawn insert name of good comeback card in Cloudians, then I would have won here, but sadly we must set Ash and then subsequently lose. Now for the second replay, we unfortunately go second, but luckily our opponent has not learned that when you go first you are meant to make a board so fun that only a card which has mass non-targeting banishment can out it and sets 1. Since I am good at the game, I drum XC as well. No kidding, these are the only replays I recorded. I am just that good. At this point I use my skill at making reads, taught to me by the great Patrick Oben, to bait out Ash Blossom with desires, whereupon I am able to summon Rabbit and start off my combo. Also comment #voice cracks if you noticed my voice, which is definitely real, changed during the course of this video. Now I do some more plays and get enough monsters to make Bahamut and summon Toad, but sadly forget to summon him, so my attacks do basically nothing. Luckily it is revealed that my opponent is playing a slow deck from 2014 that relies on something suboptimal and slow called flip summons. From here I go on to summon Toad, which, on top of the max CI I so skillfully drew, should be enough to counter all my opponent's weak and lackluster flip effects. Of course I am right, and my opponent merely summons a weak construction tool to his board in an attempt to combat my skills. My opponent performs some irrelevant action and I start my turn, and because he apparently has no disruption of any kind, I am free to just keep going and go through more cards in my extra deck. While this happens, I think now would be a good time to thank all of the people who played me in these replays for doing so, and to thank Calcab, whom you may know as Belfast Fugio, for inspiring me to make videos. Now to go on from here, we can see that I am going to be able to destroy both of my opponent's cards from 2014. However, unfortunately, due to the fact that I am a very bad YouTuber, I accidentally cropped the life point bars off the bottom of the screen, so there are basically no stakes at this point. From here I successfully stop his suboptimal flip effect from resolving and then do a small amount of damage with these fish cards, including Silent Angler, which manages to restrict the effects of just about every other superior extender in my deck, because yes, these cards are what pass for extenders in Cloudians. Now I can overlay to summon this fat tapir, which is probably better than Toad turn 1, but it wouldn't be a low tier rank 4 deck if it didn't make Bahamut Shark as frequently as possible. Am I right, all hero players? I was only joking, hero players. I understand that your deck has evolved and now its main play is activate Reaper, reveal double helix, and it has accrued you many local tops during this format. Now we see my opponent repeating his ultimate turn 1 sealing of a single set monster with nothing else against what you could probably see was an OTK next turn if I was a good YouTuber and had not cut off the life point bars. Now I try to demonstrate my skills to him so he will know how to play in the most optimal way at his next premiere event, but he quits after I continue my combo. At this point Cloudian is X1, which is all down to my skill at drawing optimal cards such as Maxi, and of course my opponent's choosing to play suboptimal decks and those weak and updated cards known as reactive extenders. If you do not understand these terms, it may benefit you to read the sacred text transcribed by Patrick Hoban, and also you may want to like this video as that will improve your thought processes by a lot. Now we have already started the next replay, which is actually 2 duels but not a match because this is table 500,000 where Komani's tournament policy does not apply and regional warlords such as Mega Capital L reign supreme. Now at this point you must understand that going into this duel I was unaware of the interaction between certain Altergeist cards, which at table 500 could be described as broken, and so was unprepared with my top game. Noticeable since I was unable to draw Maxi or go first. Unfortunately this duel is lost due to this card, which is basically Kurin the Bouncing Unicorn and some battle protection effect Veil or BS, which, along with a surprisingly good trap card, meant that I was prevented from performing some of my best plays. However, do not believe that main deck traps could ever be optimal, and it is only because my opponent skillfully won the die roll that the trap was good. I now concede because it is dishonorable to allow your opponent to reduce your life points to 0, and you must concede before the final attack to retain the favor of the one true god Jeff Jones. However, this allows me to choose who goes first in the second duel, which means that I am finally able to put my skill into action. Insert irritating anime catchphrase containing the word rev. Now I kind of have some time to fill while I combo off, so I'd like to thank my sponsors Anti-Metamats and Dual Playmats for using me as a pawn in their advertising campaigns against each other. I deeply appreciate the free mat I have definitely received, and am glad that you were able to watch me unwrap and poke a piece of cloth which every other semi-relevant YouTuber has already unwrapped and poked. I now proceed to perform what may possibly be Cloudian's highest first turn ceiling, not including Firewall Pass because I don't play Firewall. Observe that despite not drawing Maxi, I was still able to perform a powerful combo, which goes to show that when Maxi is inevitably banned due to it, meaning that skilled players such as myself who have mastered the art of drawing it can top many premier events with little effort. Myself and hopefully some among the 7 people who watch this who will learn from me will still be able to do well competitively. Oh wait, I still ended on only 1 piece of disruption off of 5 cards, don't mind me. Sadly, our opponent was not able to put up much of a fight this turn due to the raw power of a single negate which I use on his normal summon, which I believe is probably the only push his deck can make. Now I am able to steal his monster and he must only set a trap, which as we know are highly suboptimal, going second, and pass his turn. After picking up this win I will be X2, which is quite good, and if I had not foolishly cropped off the life point bars then you would realize that I was only 1 resolution of Abaki away from winning against the Gradle player as well. Also yes, I just spoiled the result of the match. I did that for every other replay as well. It is just because I am a very bad YouTuber. From here I continue to demonstrate my deck's power by developing my board and attacking my opponent directly. Although it is not quite game as I point out, not being a cheat as I do not need to cheat to draw Maxi and win, my opponent decides to wisely concede anyway, since he has little prospect of recovery from such a powerful board. So here is the deck. If you cannot see any cards due to my poor video editing skills, notify me in the comments section. I feel this deck was very optimal, but if feel free to tell me otherwise, I will no doubt roast you and you will dislike my video, but there we go. I do not have monetization enabled, so I hope you are not spammed by advertisements, but if you enjoyed this video, a like, subscription or kind comment would make me happy. Also, I hope that all the people who I may have insulted in this video, including my opponents, understand that this is all for the purpose of comedy and do not get needlessly offended. Thank